continue. Am I audible? Is my audio clear before we start?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So if you remember last time, we've talked about the different discoveries in the immunohematology. So in the ABO blood group, the pioneer would be Carl Landsteiner. So before Landsteiner's discovery, the blood transfusions were incredibly risky, and it is often because the doctors didn't understand why some blood, when mixed together, some will be mixed well, ibig sabihin there will be no reaction, but others will have reaction, some will clot. So hindi pa nila yon naiintindihan prior to Carl Landsteiner's discovery. So he identified the ABO blood group system by observing how different blood group samples will react when they are mixed together. So the experiment, he used himself and other 5 colleagues, so bali 6 sila, as the test subjects. So by cross-testing their sera, ibig sabihin yung mga serum nila, okay, and cells, so pinaghalo-halo nila yung serum at yung cells nila, he realized that humans carry specific markers. Yun po yung tinatawag nating antigens. And meron tayong mga naturally occurring antibodies. So, when you say naturally occurring, ibig sabihin, hindi na kailangan ng exposure. You don't need to have an exposure to any foreign substance for you to be able to create this antibody. Okay? So, meron daw tayong mga antigens sa red blood cells natin, and meron din daw tayong mga naturally occurring antibodies. Okay? And the experimentation he did, so meron siyang forward at reverse. So sa forward, or also known as the front type, that is when you detect the presence of the antigen. Tapos, ang gagamitin mo dito, known na antibodies. So we have the anti-A and the anti-B. So this known antisera will detect the specific antigen na pwedeng makita sa individual's RBC. So we will talk about how it is performed later on. Okay? Next, sa reverse grouping naman, or yung tinatawag nating backtyping, ang dinedetect naman natin dito yung antibodies na nasa patient serum. Ang ginagamit naman nating reagent would be the RBC na merong antigen A or antigen B. Klaro po? So ganito po siya, no? Sa ABO blood group, okay, sa ABO blood group, it is mostly immunogenic. Anong ibig sabihin ng immunogenic? Ibig sabihin, kapag nagtagpo, when the antigen and the antibody found each other, they will elicit a reaction. Understood? So, first, let us talk about the different blood type. If you remember, we have 4 blood types under the ABO blood group system: type A, B, AB, and O. So, let us discuss them one by one. If you're type A, you have antigen A. And you have antibody B. Tatandaan nyo to, inverse ang presence ng antigen and antibody. What does it mean? If you have antigen A, you will not have the antibody A. Ang naturally occurring na antibody sa'yo will be the antibody B. On the other hand, kung ikaw ay type B naman, you will have antigen B. And ang antibody na meron ka would be the anti-A. Klaro po ba yon? And if you're type AB, then of course you have the antigen A and antigen B, but since you already have both antigens, ibig sabihin, wala ka ng anti-A and anti-B. Is it clear? And if you're type O, you don't have antigen A and B, but you have anti-A and B. Is it clear? Okay? Ito yung sinasabi natin kanina na forward. Ito naman yung sinasabi natin kanina na reverse typing. So sa forward typing, ang known natin, anong ginagamit nating reagent? Okay, ito po yung reagent na ginagamit natin. Mga antibodies. Klaro po ba? Tapos, ang unknown or yung hinahanap natin would be antigens. Clear? On the other hand, sa reverse, baliktad. Ang known or yung reagent na ginagamit mo dito ay mga antigens. Saan po ba natin nakikita tong antigens na to? Sa surface ng RBC. Ang antibodies or yung unknown natin na hinahanap natin dito, sa natin makikita? Sa plasma. Same goes with the forward. Ang antibodies, makikita natin sa plasma. Ang antigens, makikita natin sa RBCs. Klaro po ba yun? Okay? Now, if you're type A and you have antigen A, saan magre-react si antigen A? Of course, magkakaroon ng reaction kay anti-A. Naintindihan? Hinahanap mo si antigen A, di ba? So, magre-react siya ngayon kay anti-A. Do you understand? Okay, remember, ito yung inyong mga reagent. Clear? Ito yung known mo. Next. Sa reverse naman, baliktad. Okay? Ito po ay anti-sira. Sa reverse naman, baliktad. Ano ang gagamitin nating reagent? Ang gagamitin nating reagent, yung mismong RBCs with antigens. So you have A cell, ibig sabihin ng A cell, ito yung merong antigen A. B cells, ito yung may B antigen, and O cells, ibig sabihin, neither A or B is present. Is it clear? Okay? So, syempre, ang hinahanap mo dito ay, ang hinahanap natin dito antibody. So, kanino magre-react yung antibody A? Antigen A. Okay? So, syempre, kung meron kang antigen A, meron kang antibody B. So, kanina magre-react yung B? Di sa B cells. Malinaw po ba? So, ganon, kabaliktaran lang yan kapag antibody B. So, merong antigen B, di ba yung patient? O, saang anti-sira siya magre-react? Sa anti-B. So, meron kang antibody A. Saan siya magre-react? Sa A cells. Klaro? Basta tandaan, ang dinedetect po natin sa forward ay antigen. Ang dinedetect natin sa reverse ay antibody. Klaro? So dito tayo sa third, AB na tayo. So dahil may antigen A and B ka, magre-react po yan parehas kay anti-A at anti-B. On the other hand, dahil wala kang anti-A at anti-B, wala siyang re-reactan. Malinaw po ba? Next, kung ikaw ay type O, wala kang wala kang antigen A, wala kang antigen B. Correct? So therefore, kung gagamit ka ng anti-A, anti-B, or anti-AB, wala rin pong pagre-reactan yan kasi walang antigen. Pero dahil meron kang anti-A at anti-B, saan sila magre-react? Sa A cell at sa B cell. Naiintindihan po ba to? Is this clear? Do you have any question regarding this concept? What about the others? Hello? Kung may tanong, huwag pong mahiyang magtanong, okay? We will clarify kasi this is very important. Okay na? Sigurado? Okay. Now, tandaan din, no? In terms of the relationship between the forward and the reverse, di ba baliktad? Inverse yung relationship nila. Bakit? Kasi magkaiba yung hinahanap mo. Yung isa, ang hinahanap mo sa forward ay antigen. So of course, kung antibody yung hahanapin mo, so magbabaliktad po yung result. Naintindihan? Okay? Now, the frequency, no, pag-usapan natin yung ethnic trends and population, the frequency of blood type is not universal. Anong ibig sabihin po nun? Ibig pong sabihin, hindi lahat ng ethnicity pare-parehas ng amount ng antigen A at antigen B. Naiintindihan? Iba-iba po yan, depende sa population, depende sa ethnic group. Halimbawa, your group B is 2 times more frequent in Black and in Asian population compared to white. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Ibig sabihin, sa mga Asian at sa mga Black, mas maraming type B kumpara sa mga white. Yung subgroup A naman, yung tinatawag nating A2, there is, that is a specific variation of your A. Kasi meron tayong dalawang A A1 at A2. Okay? Yung A2 na yan is rarely found sa Asian descent. So again, iba-iba ang frequency ng ABO blood group depende sa population, depende sa ethnic group. Halimbawa, sa Pilipino, no, mas marami sa atin ang group B. Sa mga Caucasians, no, mas marami sa kanila ang type A, okay, or type AB. Klaro po? So iba-iba yan per population. Clear? Next, pag-usapan po natin tong risk. Anong ibig sabihin ng risk? Ibig sabihin, certain blood types are statistically linked to specific health risk. So what does it mean? Halimbawa, ang A at ang AB, they are more prone na magkaroon ng gastric carcinoma. Klaro po? Ibig sabihin, mas mataas ang probability na ma-develop nila or magkaroon sila ng stomach cancer. Gastric carcinoma is a stomach cancer. Yung type O naman are more prone to the development of ulcers. And yung B antigen, yung mga type B, wala pong associated na specific clinical risk. Naintindihan? So kung type B ka, mababa ang probability mo or walang association sa kahit anong sakit. Pero kung type A at AB ka, mataas ang probability magkaroon ka ng gastric carcinoma or stomach cancer. Kung type O naman, kadalasan ulcer. Klaro po? Okay, now, let's proceed to its inheritance. So paano po ba natin na-i-inherit ang ABO antigens natin? So this was discovered in 1924. So the ABO system, no, is inherited through what we call as the Mendelian genetics. Naalala niyo pa po ba yung autosomal dominant, autosomal recessive? Now, you have to remember, no, ito po ay this is not aligned with the Mendelian genetics. Bakit? Kasi yung inheritance ng A and B antigen natin ay codominant. Naalala niyo pa po ba yun sa Mendelian genetics? Ano pong ibig sabihin ng autosomal codominant? Hindi po ba kapag okay, so discuss natin yung Mendelian inheritance very quickly lang. So kung naalala ninyo, meron tayong dominant at recessive traits. Right? if you remember, for the Mendelian genetics, so this is usually the course, no? So if you remember, we inherit both the traits from our father and mother. So for example, we are talking about the trait, let's say, height. Okay? So if you remember, this is represented by capital letter A for the dominant. Okay? And then small letter A for the recessive. So kung naalala ninyo, halimbawa, yung father is heterogeneous, then your mother, let's say, is also heterogeneous. So ang inheritance natin would look like this. Diba? So for the dominant trait to be expressed, kailangan ma-inherit natin yung dominant na allele. So for example, this is now, let's sabihin natin tall. Ito rin, this is tall. This is also tall. But here, dahil nakuha po natin yung, sabihin natin this is tall and this is small. Okay? So dahil ito, wala tayong nakuha na dominant trait, so para magawa po natin or makuha natin yung recessive trait, kailangan parehas na allele makuha natin. Correct? So this will now be the small. Understood? Now, it doesn't apply to the ABO inheritance. Bakit? Kasi parehas na allele, no? The A and B, once na inherit natin, will be both expressed. Katulad po nito, if this is the mom's genotype and then this is the dad's genotype, the father. So halimbawa, yung mom's genotype, meron siyang allele na A tsaka O. Ganon din yung sa father, meron din siyang A at O. Okay? So, parehas po yan ay ma-express. So, baguhin natin to. For example, gawin natin si dad ay B para mas madali ninyong maintindihan. Okay? So, of course, this will become AB. So, OB. And then this will become AO, and this will become OO. So, dito, kung mapapansin ninyo guys, parehas na nakuha nung spring. Okay, nung offspring. So, ibig sabihin, this is now type A. This is type B. This is type A. And this is now your type O. Klaro po? So, hindi po siya nagfa-follow dun sa Mendelian genetics or sa rules ng Mendelian genetics natin. Once na parehas po natin siyang na-inherit, ma-e-express po siya parehas. Malinaw po ba? So, yung O po natin is, pag na-inherit mo yan, hindi po siya nagpo-produce ng kahit anong trait. Ang tawag po natin doon ay amorph. Klaro po ba yon? Amorph. Now, sa Mendelian genetics, hindi po nag-follow ang ABO inheritance. Klaro yon? So, let's talk about the different genes. Gene natin. Makikita po natin yan sa chromosome number 9, which is very important for the ABO antigen formation. Then, meron tayong tinatawag na FUT1 allele or the FUT1 gene. That is your H gene, which is found naman sa chromosome number 19. Important yan para mag-form tayo ng ABO sa red cells. Yung FUT2 allele or your FUT2 gene or your SE gene is also found in chromosome number 19. So important naman po yan for the expression of the ABO in secretion. So next week, i-discuss po natin yung mga ABO sa secretion. So ngayon muna, pag-usapan muna po natin yung ABO antigen and antibodies. Paano na i-inherit? Paano siya na-form? Malinaw? Okay. Now, let us talk about the characteristic of the ABO antigen. Tandaan po natin ang ABO or ang antigens po natin, no, the A and the B antigens. These are the physical marker na makikita po natin if this is your RBC nasa surface. So, meron tayong antigen A, posibleng meron ka ring antigen B, depende sa na-inherit mo. Malinaw. So, this developed early in our fetal life, do not increase much in strength during the gestation period. Kung i-compare po natin yung dami or yung number ng antigenic sites between newborn and adult, of course, mas marami sa adult. Only 25 to 50% are found in newborns. So, in terms of the chemical structure, these antigens are glycolipids. Ibig sabihin po, combination po yan ng carbohydrate or sugar at saka ng lipid. Okay? Now, for the biochemical formation, the formation of the ABH antigen will involve yung enzyme na tinatawag nating glycosyl transferase. Okay, guys magkakaiba ang location ng mga iba't ibang genes natin. For example, ibang location ng ABO, H at saka ng SE. Saka natin pag-uusapan yung SE na yan. Okay? Kapag nasa secretions na po tayo. Understood? So, technically, itong enzyme na to, the glycosyl transferase, is very important para makapag-add ng sugar sa basic precursor na tinatawag nating H antigen. So tandaan niyo lahat ng antigens A and B natin nagmumula sa H antigen. Yang H antigen natin, meron po siyang backbone na tinatawag natin na paragloboside or ceramide. So technically, ito po siya, no? Ito yung ating RBC membrane. So ito po yung ceramide, ito yung backbone ng H antigen. Tanong, paano na-form ang H antigen? Okay, na-form ang H antigen kapag nagkaroon ng enzyme na L-fucose. Si L-fucose mag-a-add, si alpha-2 L-fucosyl transferase, ito yung enzyme. Okay, this is the enzyme. Siya yung mag-a-add ng L-fucose. So this is the sugar. Siya ang mag-a-add, ito po, ng fucose dito sa ating ceramide. Naintindihan? So, ito pong alpha-2 L-fucosyl transferase, mag-a-add po siya ng L-fucose para maging H antigen yung ating ceramide. Klaro po ba yon? So, ulitin natin yung H gene, kapag meron tayong H gene, na-activate natin yung enzyme na tinatawag nating alpha-2 L-fucosyl transferase. Siya yung nag-a-add ng fucose sa ceramide, okay, para maging H antigen. Understood? Ma'am, paano kung meron akong A gene? So other than the H gene, okay, kung meron akong H gene plus meron akong A gene, ano pong mangyayari? So di ba meron ka ng H antigen, right? Ito po yung important para makagawa tayo ng H antigen. Ngayon, from the H antigen, kung meron kang A gene, magkakaroon ka ng A antigen. Paano naman nangyayari yon? Kung meron kang A gene, ma-activate yung enzyme na tinatawag nating alpha-3 and galactosaminil transferase. Idadagdag niya yung sugar sa ceramide na N-acetyl galactosamine. Ito po yun. Okay? So remember, may fucose na, di ba? Kasi meron ka ng H antigen. So pag nadagdag pa yung carbohydrate na yan, the N-acetyl galactosamine, mafo-form na si antigen A. In short, para ma-form si antigen A, kakailanganin mo muna ng H gene para maka-form ng H antigen, at pag meron ka ng H antigen, kakailanganin mo tong A gene para magawa mo ngayon yung A antigen mo. So anong kailangan mong ma-inherit? Etong dalawa. Kailangan inherited mo yan para mag-dictate ka, no, or mag-express ka ng A antigen sa inyong red blood cells. Understood? Okay, pag-usapan natin yung B antigen. Paano naman siya? Ulit, nanggaling ulit yan sa H antigen. So dapat meron kang H antigen. So meron kang H gene para makagawa ng H antigen. Kakailanganin mo ng B gene para pag meron ka ng H antigen, makakabuo ka ng antigen B. Malinaw po ba? Or the B antigen. Paano nangyayari yon? Because your B gene, through the use of the alpha-3 delta galactosyl transferase, will add the sugar D-galactose. Ito po yun. Para maging B antigen. Naintindihan? Ma'am, paano kung H gene lang ang meron ako? Wala akong A gene, wala rin akong B gene. Anong mangyayari? Yan na ngayon yung nagiging type O natin. Okay? So, may na-inherit kang O gene, diba? Okay, halimbawa, H gene plus O gene. Remember, this is amorph. Anong ibig sabihin ng amorph? Ibig sabihin, wala siyang ine-express na trait. So, ibig sabihin, kung H gene lang, ano lang ang meron ka? H antigen. Wala kang antigen A, wala ka ring antigen B. So, technically, ito yung tinatawag natin na type O. Klaro po? Malinaw po ang ADO antigens. May tanong, clarification, or question? Clear yun? Okay. So, next. Paano naman yung AB group? Type AB. Siyempre, meron kang H gene, meron kang A gene, at meron kang B gene. Naintindihan? So, meron kanyang parehas, gagawa ka ng maglalagay ka ng D-galactose at N-acetyl galactosamine sa parehas na nalalagay yan sa surface ng RBC mo. So anong ibig sabihin nun? So makakagawa ka ngayon, so meron kang H antigen, meron kang A antigen, at meron kang B antigen. So, eto ngayon yung tinatawag nating type AB. Clear? So, tanong, paano natin madedetermine yung number ng H gene? Okay? So, tandaan ha, dapat meron kang H gene for a person to express A and B antigen. Ma'am, paano pag walang H gene? Di wala kang A and B antigen. Walang precursor para sa A and B antigen mo. Naintindihan? Okay? Now, let's talk about the H antigen, no? So, tatandaan po natin ang H antigen, okay? Depende po ang amount niyan sa na-convert na H antigen. What does it mean? Ang H antigen kasi nako-consume. So kapag may A gene ka at B gene, nawawalan ka na ng H antigen kasi nako-convert na po siya into A antigen or B antigen. Malinaw po. So kung pag-uusapan natin yung amount ng H, alin ang pinakamarami? Pinakamarami sa O. Bakit pinakamarami sa O? Kasi po, wala namang na-convert dito. Right? Kapag type O ka, wala kang mako-convert na H antigen to type A and type B. To antigen A and antigen B. Why? Right? Wala kang A gene at B gene. So, pinakamataas na amount ng H antigen makikita natin sa type O. Alin naman ang pinakakonti? Ang pinakakonti, itong AB. Bakit AB? Kasi po, ito yung pinaka-efficient pagdating sa conversion. Naintindihan? So, parehas meron kang A and B. So, yung mga antigens or H antigen mo, mako-convert into both antigen A and antigen B. Klaro po ba yon? So, yung pinakamarami is O, pinakakonting H antigen would be the type A1B. So, as I've mentioned earlier, meron tayong dalawang type ng A, meron tayong A1 at A2. Klaro po yon. Okay, pag-usapan natin ang lectin. So, lectins are plant or animal extract that agglutinate your human RBC with specificity. Pero tandaan, hindi po siya antibody. So, meron tayong type A lectin. Ang lectin na nag-agglutinate sa A1 at A1B cell. Ito po yung source niyan. Meron tayong B lectin. Ina-agglutinate niya ang B cell. Pero again, hindi po ito antibody, di ba? Para magkaroon ng agglutination, kailangan natin ng antigen-antibody reaction. Tama? So, ito naman, antigen plus lectin nagfo-form ng specific agglutination. Klaro po ba yun? So, B-lectin, ina-agglutinate ang B cell, ito yung source. O-lectin, it-agglutinate the O cell, so ibig sabihin sa H siya kumakapit Kasi di ba wala namang B antigen and A antigen ang O cells? So, ibig sabihin, ang specificity niya sa H. Klaro yun? Okay? And, ito naman ang source niya. Klaro po? So, other ABO blood group. Bakit other ABO blood group? Depende yan sa amount ng H antigen na meron. Klaro? Kasi bakit? Ang O-lectin, ang tina-target niya talaga yung H. Diba? Wala naman kasi talagang O antigen. Naintindihan yon? Okay? Now, punta tayo sa ABO antibody. So, tandaan ninyo, naturally occurring to. Ibig sabihin po, hindi natin kailangan ng prior exposure. Ibig sabihin, pagkapanganak po sa atin, kung meron kang antigen A, anong meron kang antibody? Anti-B. Klaro yon. Okay? Kung meron ka namang antigen B, meron kang anti-A. Again, these are naturally occurring. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo kailangan ng exposure para magkaroon ka niyan. Klaro pa yon? Okay, ngayon, pero tandaan mo, pagkapanganak, diba, napoproduce na natin ng antibody. To remember your immunology. So, the antibody production are initiated at birth. Pero masyado pang mababa. Diba? Hindi pa yan madedetect up until maging 3 months na yung baby. 3 to 6 months. So, kaya na pong madetect yan. Kaya naman, hindi tayo nagpo-perform ng reverse typing sa bata. Okay? We do not perform reverse typing. Okay? Bakit? Ano bang dinedetect natin sa reverse typing? Di po ba ay antibody. So kung magdedetect ka ng antibody sa newborn, wala pa nga sila niyan, hindi pa detectable yung amount, wala ka rin madedetect. So kung gusto mo mag-reverse typing, dapat more than 6 months na yung patient. Klaro po ba yon? Okay, now let's talk about the antibody class or antibody type. So ang ABO antibodies are primarily IgM class. Okay? Ibig pong sabihin, pag IgM class, nagre-react sa room temperature or colder temperature. no? So ibig sabihin, they react best at room temperature but also can react at colder temperature. So, ngayon, kapag nagkaroon ng interaction, halimbawa, etong dalawa, okay, antigen A at anti-A, ano pong mangyayari? Pwedeng magkaroon ng rapid intravascular hemolysis. Kaya po, hindi pwede na pag type A ka, magta-transfuse ka ng type B. Bakit? Kasi ang type B may anti-A. Again, I repeat, kung type A ka, dapat type A lang din ang ibibigay sa'yo, hindi pwedeng type B. Kasi pag type B, anong meron? Antigen, anti-A. So ano mangyayari? Magre-react po yung antigen A at anti-A mo. Correct? Ano pong mangyayari? Okay? This antibody, the anti-A, will immediately attack your anti-A. So what will happen? So that will result to intravascular lysis. Bakit intravascular? Kasi mangyayari agad-agad to sa loob ng blood vessel. And that could lead to fatal consequences. Pwede pong mag-result yan sa renal failure, shock, yan mag-result into death. Okay, another one. Dahil IgM siya, naalala niyo po ba? The best complement initiator would be the IgM. Diba? They are highly efficient in fixing the complement. So, isa lang na IgM ang meron, it can initiate the destructive process of complement fixation. Understood? For the ABO antibody. Alright, so yung ABO typing techniques natin, we will continue next meeting. Okay? So ngayon, mahalaga lang po muna na malaman natin saan galing ang ABO antigen, anong relationship niya sa ABO antibodies, so that next week, pag strong na yung foundation niyo dyan, i-discuss na po natin yung mga typing, yung mga ABO sa secretion, Bombay phenotype, pati na rin yung mga secretors or variants. Okay? So next week po natin tatapusin. Do you have any question, clarification? Yes?
Ma'am, excuse me po, good afternoon. Ask ko lang po sana if pwede po kami makahingi ng copy po ng PowerPoint. Wala
Yeah,
pa
of
po
course.
kasi sa drive. Thank you po,
Yeah.
ma'am.